Hi, and welcome to another edition of Focus St. Charles County. I'm Scott Drochnik. Thank you so much for joining us. This month, we are starting a two-part series on the County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. This is a no-nonsense, tough, and professional law enforcement agency that does everything possible to protect victims and help make this one of the safest places to live in the United States. Here to tell us more about the County Prosecuting Attorney's Office is the prosecuting attorney himself, Tim Lomar.
The St. Charles County Prosecuting Attorney's Office has a rich tradition of excellence as a tough, no-nonsense law enforcement agency, and we pursue justice and safety with integrity. Today, your Prosecuting Attorney's Office remains deeply committed to these core values, even as we face extraordinary challenges and new crimes that were never imagined 50 years ago. Thankfully, our community is one of the safest in the nation, and we boast several cities that regularly rank among America's best places to live. But we're not untouched by crime. Hundreds of crime victims walk through the doors of our office that seek help and justice, and our prosecutors file thousands of criminal cases each year. We continue to wage battle with illicit drugs and all the repercussions within our community, crimes against persons, sexual offenses, and crimes against children, among many others. We also confront dramatic changes in technology that affect both the nature of crime and our approach to solving and prosecuting these cases. We celebrate the dedication and commitment of the members of this office, and we also gratefully acknowledge the outstanding work of our local law enforcement community. And above all, we appreciate the long-standing support we have within our community. Please know that as your prosecuting attorney, I'll continue to do my very best to preserve the public trust in the justice system and to protect the safety of all St. Charles County residents.
Tim, thank you so much for that overview of the County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. Well, within the office, there's a unit that deals with sex crimes and child abuse, and it includes a team of multidisciplinary professionals who are helping traumatized children, as well as prosecuting felons who commit crimes against children or crimes of a sexual nature. Here to tell us more is the unit team leader, Rebecca Navarro-McKelvey.
The Sex Crimes Child Abuse Unit is dedicated to assisting victims of these particular type of crimes. Our goal is to assure that people that perpetrate crimes against children or that commit sexually motivated crimes are very swiftly and appropriately held accountable for their actions. And that restores justice to the victims of these crimes and ensures protection for the entire community. In St. Charles, we have a specialized unit for sex crimes and child abuse because child victims are particularly vulnerable, and these types of crimes are more successfully investigated and successfully prosecuted by a team of professionals that have experience in dealing with traumatized children and the specific issues that those children face. In order to ensure more successful prosecutions, here in St. Charles, we use a multidisciplinary team approach of prosecution. And what that means is that we partner with different areas of expertise. We partner with law enforcement, we partner with the family court and child protective services, we partner with medical professionals, and we partner with our local child advocacy center located here in Wentzville, Missouri. That's where we're filming at today. We partner with law enforcement to ensure that these cases are thoroughly and properly investigated and that they're properly documented, creating the best evidence. We partner with the family court in order to ensure that children are provided for their daily needs and their safety is ensured throughout this entire process. We partner with medical providers so that these children can be examined and their injuries documented, as well as reassuring the children that they're healthy and normal despite their trauma. Our cases often come down to the word of one small child. Ensuring that a child's statement is gathered in a non-leading, non-threatening, and child-friendly manner is the job of the forensic examiners at the Child Advocacy Center. These highly trained professionals interview child victims about the facts of the crime, while other members of the team observe the interview in another room through closed-circuit television. This system ensures that the child only has to share his story one time with one person, thus reducing the child's trauma. The St. Charles County Prosecuting Attorney's Office is proactively reacting to crime. Our unit is at the forefront of new and emerging crimes. The advent of the internet and the explosion in the use of social media has led to new ways for predators to target our children. And that is why the Child Abuse Unit has devoted resources specifically to computer-facilitated sex crimes. Our unit works hand in hand with the dedicated detectives of the St. Charles County Cybercrimes Unit. In this state-of-the-art facility, these officers patrol cyberspace, hunting for predators that are using video chat technology, peer-to-peer file sharing, and social media sites to contact children in our community for sexual contact. Experiencing the criminal justice system as a crime victim can be challenging, especially if you're a child. The prosecutors and victim advocate in the Sex Crimes and Child Abuse Unit have extensive experience working with child victims. It is our priority to minimize stress on child victims by applying laws designed to protect child witnesses and working closely with children and their family to ensure that they're as comfortable and informed as possible in each step of the process. The Sex Crimes Child Abuse Unit is here to ensure that no child will stand alone.
Rebecca, thank you so much, and we truly appreciate all the work that your unit is doing. Folks, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to find out about how the Prosecuting Attorney's Office deals with bad checks, delinquent taxes, and restitution to crime victims.
Will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did. Mm-hmm.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on a sidewalk?
Yes. Yep, I did. Did you guys Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
It would be safe to keep your distance until the secret that makes you smile. Reliable sources say that chicken soup has found their way out of this
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Focus St. Charles County. I'm Scott Drochnik, and today we're looking at the County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. And I have to tell you, there is a lot of activity here going on. Well, we're going to turn our attention right now to a unit that deals with the collection of delinquent taxes, bad checks, and restitution for crime victims. This unit was established back in 1989, and in terms of success, they have so far collected some $9 million. We're going to talk now with Joan Keggy, who is the unit coordinator for the Victim Services.
The Prosecuting Attorney's Office has a bad check unit. We will collect bad checks given to individuals or businesses and make every attempt to collect on those bad checks. The check must have been received in St. Charles County. The bad check receiver would need to fill out a probable cause statement, which is linked to our website. fill that out, get a copy of the certified check from their financial institution, and either mail the copy of the check and the probable cause statement to the prosecutor's office or bring it here to the 6th floor in the courthouse. We will then contact the bad check writer in an attempt to get them to pay the bad check off. If not, criminal charges will be filed against them, and it will proceed through the criminal justice system. We collect back taxes on behalf of the state of Missouri. The taxpayer will be contacted with their debt, penalty, interest, anything that is involved with their case, in an attempt to get a payment plan set up so they can pay this off in full and satisfy the state of Missouri. Any payment taken by the prosecuting attorney's office, any of the units, restitution, bad check, or back taxes, must be in the form of a money order or a cashier's check.
Joan, we appreciate all the great information. Well, folks, when we turn our attention to child support issues, those are handled by the Family Support Division and provided free of charge to residents in Missouri. When they're unable to take care of a child support issue adequately, they refer the matter to the County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. And within that office, there is a child support unit that takes care of the cases referred to them. Here to tell us more about it is the team leader, Sarah Cruz.
The St. Charles County Prosecuting Attorney's Office is in a cooperative relationship with the Family Support Division. It's a subsection of Social Services. We receive all our referrals from the Family Support Division. At that level, they are trying to administratively enforce child support obligations through license suspension or income withholding orders, but they get to a point where they can't do any more, so they send it to our office, and we can only take cases referred from them by statute. In the child support unit, we do two different types of cases. One is enforcement and one type is paternity establishment. When a case comes to our office, we send a questionnaire to the custodial parent. It's most often mom, but sometimes it is dad as well. When the custodial parent returns the enforcement questionnaire, we take those answers. Based on those answers, we decide what kind of case we're going to file for enforcement. It could be civil or criminal. Civil enforcement would be a motion for contempt, and most often that's done when the case is an arrears-only case, as in the children are emancipated or for some reason there's no more current support due. Criminal case, we often do misdemeanors as opposed to felonies, which can be confusing to people. They think felony is the ultimate kind of enforcement case, but actually with a misdemeanor, when it comes to the punishment phase of things, they could do more time in jail. Our first priority is always to collect money for our residents of St. Charles County. But there does come a point where money is not being collected and punishment is the last resort. This office collects quite a bit of money for St. Charles County residents. In 2012 alone, we collected over $2 million just from the cases that were referred here to our office. And at a given time, we have anywhere from 950 to about 1,000 cases pending. About 100, a little over 100 are paternity establishment cases, and the rest are enforcement cases. When a case comes over here for paternity establishment, most often both parties, both mom and dad, are made parties to the cases as in they're a respondent. That way it's very clear that the state of Missouri is their own separate party. We pursue an order for child support, often medical support, and state debt. Often that comes from monies that have been paid to a parent who the non-custodial parent is not helping to care for that child and they need that assistance. So we try and get an order for state debt to reimburse the state of Missouri for monies that the taxpayers have paid for that child.
Sarah, thank you so much, and please keep up the great work. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up by talking again with Joan and Tim.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him opening his own clothing store at the age of 18? 1 in 138,000. Excited to be a part of pop culture, he packed for the big city. The odds of finding someone to invest in his vision? 1 in 4.5 million. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Today is Saturday. Today is Saturday. Salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, throw a ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, sparkle snacks Sunday. All the healthy children eat well and move a lot. and move a lot, and move a lot. Eat well and move a lot.
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day.
Skip a rope Saturday, freeze tag Friday, tap dance Thursday.
Whole grains Wednesday, try a veggie Tuesday. Let's move Monday, split the sweet Sunday.
Eat well and move a lot.
Today is Saturday. Today is Saturday.
All the healthy children, all the healthy children.
Get ideas. Get involved. Get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
Thank you for calling your GED Pep Talk Center. All right, now, are you ready for your GED Pep Talk?
Being nervous is okay. It just shows that you're serious about getting your diploma.
All right, listen, we all need a little nudge sometimes. I don't function without coffee in the morning, but it is going to take more than a double mochaccino to help you here.
A lot of things are scary. Heck, I'm scared of clowns.
No quiero oír. Danny, no lo puedo hacer. Quiero oír. Danny, lo voy a hacer.
DMC, liking your pep talk style.
Just keeping it real, Debs. Just keeping it real.
Louder! Louder! I'm gonna get my GED! Come on! Get your GED!
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Welcome back to Focus St. Charles County. I'm Scott Drognick, and today we're continuing to look at the County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. Back in 1993 in Missouri, a constitutional amendment was enacted that provided specialized rights to victims of crime. Here in the County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, there is a Victims of Crime Assistance Program. They'll help these victims do anything from fill out forms to sit through trials, and there's 5 advocates ready to help at a moment's notice. Here to tell us more about it is Joan Keggy, who's talked with us earlier.
The Victims of Crime Assistance Program is here to help victims of crime through the process of the criminal justice system. Attend bond hearings, sit with them with court escorts, sit with them through a trial, help them with a victim impact statement, help them complete a crime victims compensation form, just anything that they need to help them navigate the criminal justice system while their case is pending. A constitutional amendment was passed in the state of Missouri in 1993, providing victims with certain rights, such as the ability to know what's going on, who's been charged with a crime, what charge they have been filed against, and those specific rights are on a link on our website. In St. Charles County, we've had a Victims of Crime Assistance Unit since 1991, so it actually predates the constitutional amendment. And presently we have 5 victim advocates who have different caseloads helping victims of crime in St. Charles County. However, if one is the victim of a crime and charges are not filed in our county, or they are a county resident and they're victim of a crime elsewhere, we will also provide as many services as possible, or referral to outside agencies. If you are a victim of a crime and you have specific questions, you can always call the Prosecuting Attorney's Office, 636-949-7355, and ask to speak to a victim advocate.
Thank you, Joan, for that information. Well, folks, if you're like a lot of people, when you receive a jury summons in the mail, your first thought might be, how do I get out of this? Well, we're going to turn our attention back to Tim Lomar, the County Prosecuting Attorney, and he's going to tell us why we don't want to get out of jury duty, why it's a benefit to society, and the process that happens once you receive that summons in the mail.
It's easy to forget how important the jury really is to our American society. The right to be a juror is one of the fundamental rights guaranteed to all eligible citizens. The right to a trial by jury helped spark the American Revolution. It was quickly adopted at the Constitutional Convention, and it's the only right that appears in both the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. But for most of us, a jury summons is an unwelcome inconvenience. Who has time for jury duty? We all have things to do. It's important to realize that juries represent what we believe about America, that it's localized, it's democratic, and that we are the actors, we're the participants. We the people means we have to act. We have to do something. Jury duty is an example of doing something. We're all constitutional actors. Jury duty provides an opportunity to reflect on that constitutional responsibility. Jury service gives ordinary citizens a chance to reconnect to the constitutional character of our nation. Jury duty is a shared American tradition. It connects people across class and race, creates habits of focus and purpose, and teaches values of participation, equality, and deliberation. Jury service is not only important for our court system, but it's also important for democracy. Any citizen who's summoned for jury duty is going to receive a notice in the mail, and in that notice it's going to provide you a date and a time that you've been called to serve on jury duty. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get chosen for the jury. All potential jurors will show up on the date and time that they are scheduled. If the case that's scheduled for trial that day, in fact, goes to trial, all jurors will be brought up into the courtroom and they'll go through a jury selection process. That jury selection process is a chance for both of the attorneys as well as the judge to make sure that they have a panel of fair and impartial jurors. There are different life experiences that everybody goes through which may impact their ability, depending on a given factual scenario, to be fair and impartial. So that's the whole purpose of the jury selection process. If anybody were to have questions about jury service, you can always contact the Jury Services Coordinator in the Office of the Circuit Clerk.
Tim, thank you so much for helping us all better understand the importance of jury duty. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for this particular episode. Please keep in mind this is the first in a two-part series on the County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. So we hope you'll join us next time as we continue our focus on St. Charles County. I'm Scott Rockney. See you again soon.